Speak English anyway, a place where confidence matters more than perfection, and every voice deserves to be heard.
Hey people, I'm Linda.
And I'm Ethan. And today, we're fixing the most awkward moment in the entire English language. The moment right after, "Hi, how are you?"
Oh, the moment. Because everyone learns the beginning. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. And you? I'm good. And then the ground opens up.
Total silence. You've used all your English in 4 seconds, and now you're standing there.
Smiling and panicking at the same time. And I've watched this happen to hundreds of students. The greeting is perfect, genuinely perfect, better than most native speakers. And then everything stops.
And here's what I want to say right at the start, people, because I think this matters. That silence isn't your fault. Nobody ever taught you this part.
Say more about that.
Think about what a textbook gives you. It gives you the greeting, "Hello, how are you?" Fine. And it gives you the goodbye, "Nice to meet you." Also fine. But the middle, the actual conversation, nobody covers it.
Because it isn't grammar. There's no rule to memorize, no verb tense to practice. And so it falls through the cracks of every course ever written.
It's a social skill wearing a language costume, and you can pass every exam in the world and still freeze at a bus stop.
And I'd add something to that, because I think there's a second reason it's hard. Small talk is different in every culture.
How so?
In some countries, speaking to a stranger in a lift would be genuinely odd. In others, silence is rude, and you're expected to say something. So you're not just learning words, you're learning a whole set of social rules that nobody wrote down.
So we're guessing at a game where nobody explained the rules.
Exactly. And that's what we're fixing today. So let's define it first. Small talk is light, easy conversation about nothing important. The weather, the weekend, your coffee, the traffic.
And I know what people are thinking right now because I thought it for years. If it's about nothing important, why does it matter so much?
Go on, answer your own question.
Because it was never really about the weather. When somebody says, "Cold today, isn't it?" they're not giving you a weather report. They're saying something else underneath.
What are they saying?
They're saying, "I'm friendly. You're safe with me. I'm open to talking if you are." It's a signal, not information.
It's a social handshake. And once you see it that way, everything changes because you stop worrying about whether your comment was interesting enough.
Which is the trap, honestly. I used to think small talk was a test, like I had to say something clever or I'd failed.
And that pressure makes it so much harder because now you're searching for a brilliant observation about rain, and there isn't one.
Rain is just rain. There's no genius comment available.
So the pressure was invented. And I want people to hear that clearly. Small talk has a deliberately low bar. That's not a flaw in the conversation. That's the design.
You're not there to impress anyone. You're there to be warm for 40 seconds, and that's a much easier job than the one we've been giving ourselves.
So let's get practical. Step one, and it's the easiest thing in the world. Comment on the situation you're both in.
Whatever is happening right there in front of you.
You're both in the same place, looking at the same thing. So talk about the place, or the weather, or the queue you're both standing in. And here are the actual sentences. It's freezing today, isn't it? Wow, this queue is long. Lovely weather, finally. It's busy in here.
And notice how simple those are. There's not a single difficult word in any of them. That's deliberate. Small talk is meant to be easy for both people.
Nobody wants a challenging conversation at a bus stop at 8 in the morning.
Nobody. And here's something I want to add because it took me a long time to understand. The other person is also slightly nervous.
Are they? Even native speakers?
Almost always. Native speakers get awkward too. They also stand in lifts wondering whether to say something. We think we're the only nervous person in the room, and usually we're not.
Oh, that's such a good point. So when you speak first, you're often rescuing them as well as yourself.
You're doing them a favor, which completely flips the feeling of it. You're not imposing on someone, you're letting them off the hook.
And now let me give you the trick that makes all of this much easier. Add a tiny question at the end. Isn't it? Right? Don't you think?
And explain why that works, because it's more clever than it looks.
Because a statement is complete. It's cold today. That's finished. There's nothing for the other person to do with it. They can nod, and that's a perfectly acceptable response.
It's a closed door.
But it's cold today, isn't it? Is a question, and questions need answers. So now they have to say something back. You've handed them the conversation.
Statements close, questions open. And that one tiny addition, 2 words, changes everything. It's the difference between talking at someone and talking with them.
And these little tags are wonderfully easy to learn because they repeat constantly. Isn't it? Aren't they? Right? You'll hear them 100 times a day once you start listening.
Honestly, if people only remember one thing from this whole episode, this would be a good one. Add isn't it, and you've turned a dead end into a doorway.
And there's a second version of this that's even easier. Just ask them the same thing back. Cold today, isn't it? It really is. Did you walk here?
The return question. So even if you can't think of anything new, you can bounce the ball back.
Bounce the ball back. That's a very good rescue when your mind goes blank. And everyone's mind goes blank sometimes.
Mine goes blank regularly, and the return question has saved me more times than I can count. It buys you 5 seconds, and 5 seconds is usually enough to find your next sentence.
Now, here's step 2. And this is where most learners accidentally end the conversation without meaning to.
The one-word answer.
Somebody asks, "How was your weekend?" And you say, "Good." And then silence.
And here's the thing, you were being polite. You answered the question. Nothing you did was wrong.
But nothing was offered either. And I want to explain what's happening from the other person's side because it helps. They're not thinking, "How rude." They're thinking, "Oh, they don't want to talk." And so they stop.
So the silence isn't rejection, it's a misunderstanding.
It's a complete misunderstanding. You wanted to talk, they wanted to talk, and a one-word answer accidentally told them not to.
And I want to explain why this happens so much, because it's not laziness. When you're nervous in another language, you naturally give the shortest correct answer. You're minimizing risk.
The shorter the sentence, the fewer mistakes.
Exactly. So we shrink, which is completely logical, and it accidentally kills the conversation every single time.
So the fix is simple. Add one small detail. "Good. I went to the park with my sister." Or, "Pretty quiet, actually. I watched a lot of television."
And now they have something to grab. They can ask which park or what you watched. You've given them a thread to pull.
And here's what I love. The detail doesn't have to be interesting at all, not even slightly.
This is my favorite part. "I did laundry and ate too much pasta" is a perfect answer. It's honest, it's warm, and it gives people something to respond to.
Small talk adores ordinary life. Food, sleep, weather, and being tired are the four great topics of the English language.
Nobody wants your fascinating philosophy at 9 in the morning. They want to know you had too much pasta.
And here's a small extra technique. After your detail, you can hand it straight back. I did laundry and ate too much pasta. How about you?
So you answer, add color, and pass the ball. That's a complete turn.
Answer, color, pass. 3 parts, and the conversation runs by itself.
And I want to be clear about something, because I got this wrong for years. You don't need to prepare interesting stories. You don't need material. You just need to not answer in one word.
The bar really is that low.
It's on the floor, and that's good news, because it means small talk isn't a talent. It's a habit. Add one detail, pass it back. That's the whole skill, and anyone can learn it in an afternoon.
Now let's talk about starting one, because that's the scariest part for most people, being the one who speaks first.
The cold start. When there's no conversation yet, and someone has to make one exist out of nothing.
So let me give you 4 openers that always work. Number 1, the weather. Always. Forever. In every English-speaking country on Earth.
Even though everyone knows it's a cliché?
Especially because it's a cliché. Both people know it's not really about the weather. It's a safe, friendly signal that everyone recognizes instantly. That's exactly why it works.
It's like a password. Nobody cares about the words. They care that you know the code.
Number 2, compliment something. I love your bag. That's a great jacket. Your dog is beautiful.
And let me add a technique inside that one. Compliment something they chose, not something they were born with.
Explain that.
If you compliment a bag or a jacket or a haircut, you're complimenting a decision. And people love talking about their decisions. They'll tell you where they got it, why they picked it, the whole story.
Whereas complimenting their eyes just makes it strange very quickly.
Very strange, very fast. But great jacket opens a door. 9 times out of 10, they say, "Oh, thanks, I got it in," and there's your conversation running by itself.
And a small warning from me on compliments, keep them about the object, not the person's body. That's the line. Nice bag is lovely. Anything about someone's body is a different conversation entirely.
That's an important line, especially with strangers.
Number 3, ask a simple question about the place. Have you been here before? Do you know if they do takeaway? Is the seat free?
And these are wonderful because you have a legitimate reason to speak. You're not approaching a stranger for no reason. You have a question.
The situation gives you permission.
And that permission matters a lot when you're nervous. It gives you cover. Even if it goes nowhere, you asked a normal question and nothing embarrassing happened.
And number 4, the universal one. Ask about their week or weekend. How was your weekend? On a Monday. Any plans for the weekend? On a Friday. How's your week going? In the middle.
And here's why those are so powerful. Everybody has a weekend. There's no wrong answer. It's the most inclusive question in English.
You can ask it of anyone, at any level, in any workplace, and it works identically.
Which means you only really need to memorize 4 things to start any conversation in English: the weather, a compliment, a question about the place, and the weekend. That's a very short list for something that felt impossible.
Now, let's handle the fear. What happens when the conversation dies, when there's a silence?
And I want to start with the most reassuring thing, because I wish someone had told me this 10 years ago. Silences are normal. Native speakers have them constantly.
They really do. Two English people can stand in a lift in complete silence for 30 seconds, and neither of them thinks anything went wrong.
But when it happens to us, we think, my English failed. They noticed. They think I'm boring.
And none of that is happening in their head. I promise you. They're thinking about their shopping list.
Conversations breathe. Not every second needs words in it.
But if you do want to keep it going, here's a lovely technique. Go back to something they said earlier. You mentioned you like hiking. Where do you usually go?
The callback.
And people love it because it shows you are actually listening, which is rarer than you'd think.
And I'd add, this is the single kindest thing you can do in a conversation. Anyone can talk. Very few people remember. When you bring back a detail from 5 minutes ago, the other person feels genuinely seen.
So keep little pieces as you go. Names of places, a pet, a job, a weekend plan.
Keep them in your pocket, and when things go quiet, pull one out. It's spare fuel for the conversation.
And here's the other big one. Ask questions that can't be answered with yes or no.
Let me explain the mechanics, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Do you like your job? That only needs one word, yes.
And now you're both stuck again.
Straight into the wall. But what do you like about your job? Now they have to give you a real sentence. You've required content.
So use what and how instead of do. And I'd say this is the single most useful habit in the whole episode because it works everywhere, at work, at parties, on dates, with your partner's family.
What, how, and sometimes why, those 3 words are the engine of every good conversation in English.
How did you get into that? What's that like? Why did you choose there?
And what's that like is the magic one. It's the most useful question in English, and I'm not exaggerating.
Give them the range of it.
Someone says they're a nurse. Oh, what's that like? Someone says they just moved. What's that like? Someone says they have 4 children. What's that like? It fits absolutely everywhere, and it always produces a real answer.
Now let's do the part nobody teaches. How do you end a conversation?
And this is a real skill because a lot of us stay trapped in conversations far too long, not because we're enjoying them, because we don't know how to leave.
I've seen people miss trains because they couldn't work out how to say goodbye politely. So there's a formula. You give a reason, and then a warm goodbye. Well, I should get going, but it was really nice talking to you. Or, anyway, I'd better run. Have a good one.
And I want to point out one specific word in there because it's a secret signal. Anyway.
Tell them about anyway.
Anyway is how English speakers announce that a conversation is ending. It's a little bell. When somebody says anyway with a slight sigh, that conversation has about 15 seconds left.
And it's completely polite because it warns the other person. Nobody gets surprised.
You're not just walking away, you're signaling first and then leaving.
And it works in both directions, which is useful. If somebody says, anyway, to you, they're not being rude. They're ending it kindly. So let them go.
Oh, that's a good one. Recognizing the signal matters as much as using it.
And there's a lovely phrase, I should let you go.
That one is beautifully clever because it sounds like you're doing them the favor. You're not saying, I want to leave. You're saying, you're probably busy. I won't keep you.
Very generous of us.
Extremely generous, and it works perfectly. Everyone knows what it means, and nobody is offended.
And always finish with the warm bow on top. It was lovely to meet you. Great chatting with you. Have a good day.
And don't skip that part, because the ending is what people remember. If you vanish suddenly, they might wonder if they said something wrong.
Close the door softly. And one more thing, If you'd like to see them again, this is the moment to say so. We should get a coffee sometime.
And that's how casual friendships actually start, isn't it? Not with a dramatic invitation, just a small open door at the end of a small conversation.
A small open door. And people say yes far more often than you'd expect.
They do, because most people are quietly hoping somebody will ask. And here's something worth knowing. The ending is often more important than the middle. People forget what you talked about. They remember how it finished.
So, let me gather everything, people. Your small talk toolkit. Number 1, comment on the situation you're both in and add, isn't it?
Statements close, questions open. 2 extra words and you've made a doorway.
Number 2, when someone asks you something, add 1 small detail, then hand it back. Never just good.
Good. I did laundry and ate too much pasta. How about you? Answer, color, pass.
Number 3, 4 openers that always work. The weather, a compliment on something they chose, a simple question about the place, or how was your weekend?
And remember, the situation gives you permission. You don't need a reason to speak beyond being in the same room.
Number 4, when it goes quiet, go back to something they said or ask a what or how question.
And what's that like fits almost anywhere. That one sentence could carry you through an entire party.
And number 5, end warmly. Signal with anyway, give a reason, and finish with something kind.
And if you like them, leave the door open. We should get a coffee sometime.
And now, here's what I really want you to hear. Because small talk can feel fake. It can feel like you're just making noise about the weather while nothing real is happening.
And I felt that for years, honestly. I thought small talk was for people who had nothing to say.
And what changed?
I realized that every single friendship I have started with something meaningless. Every one. Not a single one started with a deep conversation.
Tell them about the train.
My closest friend here, we met because we were both waiting for the same delayed train, and I said something stupid about the departure board. That's it. That's the whole origin story. A comment about a screen.
And now?
And now, he's the person I call when things go wrong. But it started with a bad joke about a train being late.
And that's true for me too. My oldest friend and I met in a queue at a supermarket, talking about how slow the queue was, 22 years ago.
22 years from a slow queue.
From a slow queue. So, small talk isn't the opposite of real connection. It's the front door to it. Every deep conversation started as a shallow one.
Every single one. Nobody meets a stranger and immediately shares their soul. You start with the weather, and if it feels good, you go one level deeper, and then deeper.
So don't skip the front door because you're worried it isn't deep enough. Knock on it. Say the boring thing about the rain.
It's not beneath you. It's the beginning of everything.
Take a breath, people. Friendship starts with something small.
Friendship starts with something small. So go and say something ordinary to somebody today. Something easy. It counts for far more than you think. Take care of your English and take care of your heart. This is Ethan, and you've been listening to Speak English Anyway. And by the way, lovely weather we're having, isn't it? See you next time.